You're listening to It Came From the Radio. I have Dave Morrissey Jr. here. He's an actor, director, producer, pianist. He's a piano player. It's not a derogatory word. He's a music composer. And we met, luckily. I'm very grateful to meet him while I was the effects makeup artist. Did a little glam, but I was doing some special effects makeup, turning regular humans into sickly heroin addicts, junkies for the movie Junkie Diaries coming out. So welcome, Dave Morrissey Jr.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. So let's go into how we've met and what we've worked on. I think I had like 5 shoot days with you as the director, and I quite enjoyed it. I like your process. So just tell us a little about Junkie Diaries film that is written by Nikki Silva. She's also acting in it. She's doing locations, she's doing casting. Seems like you guys are also maybe co-directing a little bit, but you're really the director. So you're directing her story. What's this process like?
Yeah, basically, yeah, I'm glad you put it that way. Yeah, basically, it's a collection of true to true-ish to not true from our lives, but true from events that we've read about and heard about,
Mhm.
um, stories surrounding addiction and attachment. Nikki approached me to direct it a couple months ago. She mentioned that she had this short film, and as we moved through it, really trying to bring her vision to life with this, we were kind of like, well, we got 30 pages. What's 30 more? And so we decided to make it a feature. And so it's been a really wonderful process. I'm really proud to be the director on this movie with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can definitely see why.
Mhm.
I work on a lot of films, and some I'll tell people you don't need to see it, or do yourself a favor and don't watch it. Things I've acted into, but no, this I can't wait to see it, and I also can't wait to recommend it because almost everyone I know, I guess over the age of 20, has probably dealt with addiction. It's something where whether someone else has been through it. And I think there's a lot of important messages and
Mhm.
also a movie that has concepts in it that people can relate to, can make people feel less alone. So I think it's a really meaningful film that you're working on.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy about it. It's a beautiful story. I'm really happy about it. Um, Proud of the work that we've done so far. We have an amazing cast, with Juan and George, and
Mhm.
obviously she's a great actor. I use Nikki in a lot of the stuff I direct, a lot of the commercials, branded content, music videos, short films, long films, all sorts of stuff. Nikki and I
Makes
have
sense.
we have a good professional relationship that lasts over 10 years, and
Oh, wow.
we've done stuff for Intel, we've done stuff for Space.com, we've done stuff for all sorts of wonderful clients. I'm
Really
very
cool.
proud. Yeah.
So you guys work really well together. You communicate efficiently. You also know how to have fun. You get a lot done. Those are the things I look for in people to work with. You gotta have fun. You gotta get stuff done. You gotta be an efficient communicator. You don't have to explain everything you do over 45 minutes. So, what are some things that you must do before you're directing someone else's script? What are some like do's and don'ts?
I don't know, handle your ego shit. That's a
Yeah, yeah.
I think that a lot of artists, listen, people who are creative, they get into the arts, into the professional arts world for
Hmm.
a variety of different reasons. And I think that the number one thing you need to do before handling someone else's script is just to handle your own insecurities.
Oh,
Because that shit'll creep up on you in a heartbeat, and it'll be like this one thing that everybody else kind of sees about you, but no one wants to say it because you're getting them a gig or you're giving them opportunity. If you can't embrace your own flaws, if you can't embrace looking at yourself like a reasonable human,
mhm.
um,
Yeah,
and if you can't look at your blind spots, most importantly, you're gonna fumble and you're gonna do more damage than good. That's my opinion on it.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. On any role, I'll ask people for like reviews. I'll create my little focus groups, whether I'm gardening or acting or doing makeup or, I never taught tennis, but I taught workout classes. I'd always create some type of focus group, like, just tell me things that you see, because I'm not going to see everything in every
yeah.
profession. So, mm,
Yes, that's a great thing you got going on there. I wish more people thought like that in the arts, but I mean, the more that you do and the older that you get, the real ones stick around. And the people who really want to create good work and create really good collaborations, they stick around and they keep doing it. So it kind of
hmm.
fixes itself over time, but you just got to stick through it and have the willpower and discipline check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Definitely. Yeah, my dad's a dentist, five houses down, and I'm his one woman focus group. I constantly tell him what works and what doesn't work. He doesn't really like to hear the criticism, but I think everyone should receive criticism running your even if you're running a dental office and it's from your daughter. I'll tell him all types of things. And sometimes we'll argue, but it's like it's just to get better. You can always be better in every profession, even if you've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah, you can't
So,
force people to be receptive about criticism. I learned that pretty quick.
mm.
I was an error disclosures consultant for a
Oh,
hospital that was going through a big, like, it was a public hospital, and so they had a big restructure, rebranding, and they wanted to make people feel more comfortable being there. I can't say which one because
hmm.
it did, but you know, you'd be surprised how many doctors have such a hard time with criticism or the idea that they are going to show up imperfect and they have to be okay with that. They have to be okay with other
Yeah.
people seeing that. That
Hmm.
sort of fear of not showing up perfect, that transcends into the arts, it goes into politics, it goes into media, it goes into everything. Everything that's worth something, everything that would make someone quote unquote proud. Any career like that, you're going to get people who can't take criticism. And it's really
Hmm.
important to have compassion for those people so that you don't get absorbed into their bullshit mostly. Mostly as a form of self-preservation, you should be compassionate.
Yeah, yeah, that too. So
Yeah.
switching gears now, I watched some of your acting scenes and I watched you play the piano and I watched you direct. So as an actor, your body and your brain is an instrument. I'd also argue as a director, as a producer, your body and your brain is an instrument because you'll be running around on set, carrying stuff and moving people around and you got to think and make decisions. So with directing, you also need to see the scene that hasn't yet been created in your brain or just on paper, and you got to create something that doesn't exist. Sometimes with actors that have limited time availability, or maybe they're difficult, they don't understand things, and sometimes you're on dangerous locations. Maybe you're guerrilla shooting. I don't recommend guerrilla shooting at the Met. I've done that and hiding from security guards and running around, but you could do it. And sometimes you have a makeup artist like me that's asking, "Hey, Dave, on a scale of 1 to 10, exactly how sick do you want your heroin addicted actors to look? Do you want them to be a 7, Dave? Do you want them to be a 4?" And you got to answer my question. So you got to do a lot. So, what are some things that you do to keep your mind sharp and able to make decisions quickly? Which you
Um,
do. Good job.
Thank you. I think that really a lot of people think that filmmaking and creativity is really subjective. I don't really subscribe to that. I think that there's a
Hmm.
science to all of these things. There's a reason why every movie in the movie theaters has a story structure that's going in the same sort of direction. There's a
Hmm.
reason why human psychology is a field and has an immense amount of studies across the world, across time, to dictate how people think and feel and how they behave, what their attitudes are
Hmm.
towards things. Same thing as with marketing. If we weren't such predictable creatures, then those industries wouldn't really exist. And so I encourage everyone who wants to really get into directing to get their head out of their ass and to start reading literature about what story structure means and why story structure works. Story structure isn't like an idea to create something that's commercially sellable. Story
Hmm.
structure is the philosophy that you can immerse someone to change how they think and feel and what they do regarding something about any subject matter that you want. And if
Hmm.
you don't understand what the brain looks for to understand something and to relate to something, then you're going to fall flat on your face and you're just going to look like some, I don't know, some fucking indie shit that's not going to go anywhere. And that's the sad
Right,
truth.
right. Right. So
Yeah.
story structure. What are
Mhm.
some things about story structure to know? Anything offhand you could just enlighten some
Oh,
people
sure. Like,
about?
look at this interview. What did you do right at the top of this? You
Intro. Who you are?
well, the setting and the inciting incident. Those are the beats that you hit in the right
Okay.
in the beginning. We know we're in a
Hmm.
podcast. We know we're in a discussion. We know that we met doing something and we're about to go on this journey together.
Right.
Now we're in the journey. And at some point in this conversation, there's going to be a revelation, and then we're going to come out
I
smarter than we thought. That's a story, you
like
know?
that. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
well said.
yeah, so there you go. There's that's an example of structure. I mean, you can see it in I could go into this for hours, but I'm not gonna.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do a follow-up on story structure. Just an hour of story structure, a how-to. You can pay in with a webinar and you can actually learn something. So we're going to switch gears, get a little more personal here. Now, acting, directing, especially producing films, in my opinion, it can take over your life. Sean King said, "Watch out, it'll take over your life." You know, he was warning 20-something on set, and it's like, yeah, it has definitely taken over my life since 2023. This is pretty much all I've done. You know, I haven't been able to play tennis. I have Equinox down the street. I barely go once a week. I barely get in the gym downstairs. I have my own gym. It's taken over my life. So, work-life balance. Do you believe in work-life balance? Do you want it? Do you have it? Do you recommend it? How do you have it? What are your thoughts on this work-life balance thing? Personally, I don't care about it, but you know,
Imagine it was like it doesn't matter.
maybe not. I don't think it does to me anymore,
Okay, well, that's a beautiful opinion, and I respect that.
except
And
for my parents.
yeah,
My
well,
parents matter, and my dog.
see,
Continue.
so that happens. You know, all of a sudden, you get structure when things start to matter. My opinion about it is that there's a lot of philosophies on this, but I think time management and routine habit building is
Mhm.
the secret sauce. I think that, you know, one philosophy that I've heard that I think that, everyone here should try at least once is to have 5 hours a day on the thing that's making you money, two to three
Mm,
hours a day on your passions and the future of your career. So if you want to be an actor, 2 to 3 hours a day on your actor stuff, 5 hours on what's actually making you money,
yeah.
1 to 2 hours on administrative stuff, and then the rest of the hours that you're awake on just whatever the fuck you want. That's my that's what I've seen work the most.
Nice. Wow.
I find that people who just really immerse themselves in a creative thing and don't give a fuck about it,
Mm-hmm.
I personally find, and don't take offense to this, I'm not criticizing you at all, but I find that there's something else that's kind of fueling them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Fueling them. And sometimes those things aren't so healthy. Sometimes the things that fuel them is this like undying nerve to be proud enough to be your
Mm.
children, for example.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What happens when that fuel runs up? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
it's stuck. And then all of a sudden you have no
Yes.
habits and you're depressed and you're sleeping because you can't even do the thing that you love because it doesn't
Right.
bring you joy anymore. Because what brought you joy was some
Yes.
sense of approval. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
or,
Yes.
like it's the same thing about people who want to be famous. Why do you want to be famous? Oh, because I want to be hot. I want to get bitches, whatever.
Right.
Ah, fuck that shit. I
Yep.
think that's so
Yep.
corny.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm
Yep.
getting real raw
No,
with you.
no, no. I totally agree with you. And you know what? If I did one thing like just acting, we burn out, or just makeup, we burn out, or producing other things, we burn out, or just radio.
Yeah.
But I do so many things. And what I found was I spent so much time to the point where someone called me a socialite. Back, I'd say I had a boyfriend straight from age 14 to like 24. I was like a professional girlfriend. And so it's like I've been to all the parties. I've partied with Crown Prince of Berna. I've stayed out. I've done to the after parties. I've drank. I've almost died. I've definitely overdosed. So it's like I know what's out there. And
Yeah.
now I have so much fun creating all the stuff I do, and everything's so varied.
Mhm.
So, and it does involve like friends and family. My parents are my favorite comedy writers, so it is actually balanced in a weird way. But yeah, no, if it was just like radio or
Yeah,
just
well,
acting, I would shoot myself in the face.
yeah, I think it's
It's like,
important for anyone who has a child or teenager who's like doing well creatively, if you're listening, and someone's like, "Oh, but focus on one thing." Just like understand that that might be someone who has a hard time cross-pollinating ideas. That might be
yes.
someone who has a hard time combining unrelated domains. They might have a hard time understanding the big picture in diverse fields just because
Mhm.
that's the way they were brought up. That's their survival mechanism, or that's just how their brain developed. I think that when you are someone who is a bit of a polymath, or
Mhm.
otherwise known as a Renaissance person, you
Mhm.
should look at those connections because those connections can lead to eventually, I don't know, big level exec C-suite positions where you're managing a lot of creatives and helping a lot of people develop their skills. So I encourage anyone who does cross-pollinate ideas, who does do a lot of different things, to really like build that skill because that skill, that's a high value skill that you can't really learn in school.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that that's a wonderful thing. And I don't know, I've done it, so I think that other people can do it too. I've been in
Yeah,
the
I've
corporate
given
world, so there you
the
go.
same piece of advice to a friend of mine who's a writer. I said, I want a writer, I'm a writer, I want to sell this script. And I said, no, listen, I don't know everything, so maybe don't take my advice. But my unsolicited advice to you would be like, learn at least three skills. So, I know makeup, I can know acting, I can do location, script supervising, casting. Okay, that's five right there, right
Yeah,
there.
and
And then
all of
six,
those
right?
things,
And
all of
they
those,
all connect, they all, but
yeah,
I said, if you're just a writer and you just want to sell your script, there's only so many sets that you're going to be invited on, only so many people. If you can learn just
right.
lighting, maybe be a gaffer, you're going to be on more sets. You're going to learn more things. You're going to get more opportunities. So,
Yeah, I would
learn a few more
say
things.
there's an awful thing I'm going to say. I'm going to fucking say it.
Do
If you're a
it.
writer, if you're a writer or a gaffer, and you're strictly like, no, this is what I want to do. Uh,
Hmm.
the AI revolution that has yet
Yeah.
to really happen is gonna, I think it's gonna wreck you because
Yeah.
what I've seen possible in operational efficiency committees and 3,000 plus corporations across the world, they are talking about consolidating those types of jobs,
Yeah.
and they're doing it with levels of technology that we've never seen before. So, good luck to you.
100%.
I hope you
Yes.
I hope you adapt, and if
Right.
you ever want to talk about it, hit me up.
1000%, which leads into the next question. Is Hollywood dead? My uncle worked in Hollywood. He worked on Dr. Phil and Oprah and filmed some of the top shows that people watch. And now he's in Malibu and he's retired. Maybe I'll
What
have him on the
Hollywood
show.
we're
But yes,
talking about?
Hollywood dead.
If we're talking about like the physical, actual geographical place, Hollywood,
That too. Yeah. Yeah.
listen, I've been there every year for the past 10 years, and I've seen a solid decline and
Hmm.
a rise in aggressive, violent homelessness. Sorry,
Hmm.
houselessness. And so,
Hmm.
I've seen more and more empty buildings. I've seen more and more broken roads in Hollywood. So that is the physical, literal Hollywood. Also, I've seen more and more. If you're talking about the economic Hollywood, I've seen the economic Hollywood dispersed to anywhere from Atlanta and New York and Miami to Hungary, to fucking
Hmm.
Hungary.
Yeah. Yeah.
UK.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
in just the US anymore.
I know.
So there's that. That seems to be dying. If we're talking about the branded Hollywood, we're like, oh, Hollywood, here we go.
Hmm. Hmm.
America makes the big movies. That as well is being killed by tax incentives and
Hmm.
an overwhelming of things that the American government is not really paying attention to. But I'm not going to get into politics. The
I like it.
Yeah, and as far as the conventional idea of what the Hollywood system was. I mean, the star system died a long time ago. We're seeing the
Hmm.
ghosts of it right now, and we got a peak. We got a peak of what the future is going to look like with the influencer boom in 2020. Now, I do think that the
Yeah.
influencer bubble is in fact a bubble, um, but it, I think that the philosophies of the influencer, branded content culture is going to disperse into everything else because Hollywood isn't getting funded the same way that it has been before, and the funding
Hmm.
isn't actually going to what we consider, the Netflixes of the world. They're going to branded content. They're going to
Hmm.
influencer deals. That's
Hmm.
where all the sponsorship money is going to. Back then, Audi would have a secret under the table deal with Disney and be like, okay, we're going to have Captain America drive some Audis, and that'll be our product integration, and we'll get X amount of views and X amount of expectations out of it, and that'll cover this revenue of our market stream. So we'll get like 16 cents per 3-second view on this. But like that has become so like like implemented into the social media ecosystem
Hmm.
that I think that we're going to see more and more branded entertainment. Right now, we're seeing vertical soap operas really take a boom, and you might hate it. You might be like, "Oh, I'm horizontal only." Good for you. I'm proud of you for being such an artiste. And yes, you will be a part
Yeah.
of when filmmaking is now a niche where we're getting really important stories told, and the money won't be there. Yes, that is great. Good for you, and you will be there, and you will stay there. Is that where
Yeah.
people are going to be making a living doing this?
Hmm.
I don't see
Hmm.
that. I think that people are going to
Yeah.
be living doing more social first content, even in the narrative world. And you might love it, you might hate it, but I challenge you, if you do hate it, find a way to make it work and find a way to tell a meaningful story with it. The
Yes.
first people who do that are going to be, oh my God, they're going to be so powerful in this industry. It's not even going to be funny.
Totally agree. Yeah, that's what I'll do with my Haley Weinstein producer from Hell series. It's definitely going to be all vertical. It's definitely going to be watchable on your phone. It'll
Told me
definitely be
that. Yeah,
highly
go for it.
inappropriate. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there
no,
you go.
this year I'm finally going back to extreme comedy, but I've spent 3 years doing some pretty professional, mind-numbing commercial work. So, you know what? I'll ruin my reputation with this. And funny enough, my last guest of the day, I asked to be on my Insane Man Success Network group. Not gonna say who it is. You're never gonna know who the last guest is. But he said, "Oh, I'm more serious. I don't know if I should be interviewed by a pirate or something." So, what I'm going to be doing is definitely not for everyone, but yeah, it's not going to just be in one genre. It's going to be all over the place with the socials and embracing influencer culture. And it's not just catering to SAG or Hollywood. It's doing what
Right.
I think is cool in my brain, which is more modern. Because I mean, Unilever, I think, has spent 30 million just in putting into the influencer culture. So this is mainstream
Yeah.
top
Yeah. Now,
companies now that
exactly.
are, yeah,
That's where the money, that's where the
that's where
sponsor
the money is.
dollars
Yeah,
are going. That's where it is.
definitely.
It
Hmm.
used to go to Netflix
Right.
sorry, like Paramount or Lionsgate or
Yeah.
like Marvel
Hulu.
Studios or any of that shit. Yeah.
Hmm.
100%.
Hmm. Yeah.
100%.
So anyway, so we're at the very end of the interview. I have more questions to ask you, but hopefully have you back, or maybe we'll have you on the Man Success Network if you could take it, if it's not too crazy for you,
Uh,
like it is for some people.
no, at this point, I
We'll
don't give a
see.
fuck. Be a pirate, interview me. I don't care. That's fine. I'll do
So,
it.
give us your closing thought, anything on your mind, and where that viewers can find you, socials, website, anything.
My closing thought is how crazy the Epstein files are. God damn,
Yeah,
that is the
I know.
craziest shit in the world. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
back when I would talk about like that, like, Sex Slave Island and the Lolita Express in 2015, people looked at me like I had two heads.
Yeah, I
Uh,
live down the street from Pizzagate, by the way,
no, no
for
shit.
years. Yeah, I lived down the street, so I got a lot to say on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is wild. Oh, wow, you do. Oh, let's have another
Oh
podcast.
yeah. Oh, I
Bye.
could
This
do a
is
whole
fun.
conspiracy show with you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's the
Hmm.
thing. The word conspiracy.
I know.
But I mean, to me, if there's a part of the news that you really just don't want to look at, just challenge your fears. Because I'll tell you, if you don't challenge it now, life is going to rain down on you and wreck you out. Just take care of it now. The pain today is
Yeah.
easier than the pain of tomorrow. Make it happen
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Aside from that, where can people find me? You know, I'm all over. I'm on Instagram. I'm at Dave Morrissey Jr. Two R's, two S's,
Hmm.
DaveMorrisseyJr.com. You can look at my portfolio if you want. I'm around. I do a lot of experimental, sort of music, film, theater events at my place. It's kind of like a lab or a industry embassy. I like to think of it as for creatives to get together and do cool shit. So, drop me a line if you want to get coffee, if you want to have a digital little meetup and see what we can do. Let's go for it.
Yeah, and you know what? He's doing a really great job directing Junkie Diaries. Not that again, I always say this, I'm not the end all be all. It doesn't really matter what I think. But I have worked with, I don't know if it's 300 directors. It's a lot. And you're very easy to work with. You're very clear communicator. You have clear visions, and I would highly recommend anyone who's looking for a director to hit up Dave Morrissey Jr. 2 R's, 2 S's. That's what I said to myself too when I was writing my notes. And
There you
we're
go.
gonna bring it back to Mark Torres for more. It came from the radio.